reading from the letter of James. Be patient, brothers and sisters, until the coming of the Lord. See how the farmer waits for the precious fruit of the earth, being patient with it until it receives the early and the late rains. You too must be patient. Make your hearts firm, because the coming of the Lord is at hand. Do not complain, brothers and sisters, about one another, that you may not be judged. Behold, the judge is standing before the gates. Take as an example of hardship and patience, brothers and sisters, the prophets who spoke in the name of the Lord. The word of the Lord.
Our second reading on this third Sunday of Advent, Gaudete Sunday, a Sunday of rejoicing, is taken from the letter of St. James. We have been reflecting on our expectations of Jesus. Who is Jesus for us? What do we expect of Him who is promised by God? In the first reading, the prophet Isaiah gave the people Israel a beautiful vision of God, the God who comes with salvation, with justice, with vindication, with healing. And so even the desert experience of Israel would be turned into life. There will be flowers, fruits, trees. There will be new life. Life will burst open in the desert. And healing, the blind, the deaf, the dumb, the lame, they will all experience restoration to health. There will be no more room for mourning and grief. And so, the people Israel started expecting this from God. Not a bad expectation, but as we said at the end of our reflection on the first reading, our expectations cannot control God. This is the experience of the people in the New Testament times, beginning with St. Paul and now with St. James. St. James talks about being patient until the coming of the Lord. Be patient. Why? Now, if we relate this to the experience of the Christian communities that St. Paul had to address, there was an expectation that Jesus' second coming will happen soon. Of course, we believe in the second coming, but the expectation was, Lord, come soon. And many Christians were probably disheartened by the fact that they were persecuted. We were expecting a Savior. And now St. James tells his readers, follow the example of the prophets who patiently endured hardships and persecution. Some people will say, wow, I want a Jesus who saves and not a Jesus who allows persecutions. People were probably expecting that with the coming of Jesus and faith in Jesus, with the coming of the church, all of us will suddenly become friends. No more argument against one another, no more conflict. But the reality is, even among Christians, there are differences of opinion, weaknesses, limitations, and even sinfulness. And through all of this, St. James says, be patient. Imitate the farmers. They sow, they plant, they take care of their crops, but they wait patiently, and the earth will just receive the rains and the snow. Patience. If we translate this to our Advent spirit, Yes, we know Jesus is coming and we expect Him to come. But part of our Advent expectation is that of patience. Patience in the sense that we allow Jesus to come to us how He wants to do it and when He wants to do it. And we cannot expect that by His coming, everything will be perfect. No more hardships, no more trials, no more persecution, no more sin. Are we really expecting Jesus, the true Jesus? Or are we making a caricature of Jesus and then we say, this is the one that we expect? Patience, my dear brothers and sisters.